discuss about the pharmacognostic study of. Hello students, today we will discuss about the pharmacognostic study of clove and cinnamon, which are the volatile containing drugs. So first drug is clove, which is commonly known as the long in Hindi, or we can also say the lavang or clove buds, clove flower. And if we talk about the biological source of this drug, so its botanical name is the Eugenia caryophyllus and it's belong to family Myrtaceae, and its useful part is the flower bud. So biological source, we can say that it consists the dried flower buds of Eugenia caryophyllus, which belong to family Myrtaceae. And if you see the geographical source, so this plant is native to Indonesia and it is cultivated mainly in the island of Zanzibar, Pemba, Brazil, Amboina, Sumatra, and it's also found in Madagascar, Penang, Mauritius, West Indies, India, and Ceylon. And if we talk about the India, so most of the clove is coming from the Kerala and Tamil Nadu state. So here you have to remember the botanical name of this plant, that is the Eugenia caryophyllus, which belong to family Myrtaceae, and its useful part is the flower bud. And this slide is showing the cultivations and collections of the clove. So particularly for the cultivations, we require the warm climate for the cultivations, and there should be sufficient rainfall, and commonly it is cultivated by the seed propagations method, and initially these seeds should be protected from the sunlight by growing inside a greenhouse or by constructing frames about 1 meter in height, which should be covered with the banana leaves. And whenever the seedlings got the height up to the 1 meter, so they should be transplanted into the open space, and the distance between the two seedlings should be 6 meter, and it should be carried out just before the rainy season. So we can say that the transplantation should be carried out before the rainy seasons. And whenever the young cloves trees are protected from the sun ever for a longer period by planting banana trees in between. So whatever the young trees is there, they should be protected from the sunlight. That's why they grow between the banana trees. So in the field of banana trees, we can cultivate these clove between the banana trees, and the drugs can be collected every year starting from the 6-year-old and till they are 70 years old. And these birds should be collected during the dry weather, and it should normally carry out in the month of August to December. And the collections may be carried out either by climbing on the tree or by using some ladders or with the help of some mobile platforms. And in some places trees are even beaten using with the help of the bamboo sticks for the collections of the birds. Now these drugs are collected, which are separated from the stalk and placed on a coconut mat for the drying under the sun. So in this picture you can see that these cloves are under the process of drying under sunlight, and some coconut mats are there. So after separations, the drugs from the stalk, they are dried under the sun on the coconut mat, and these birds lose about 70% of weights. Whatever the water content, moisture content is present in the drugs, it will be dry because of the drying, and due to drying there will be the changes in the color, and it will become dark reddish brown in color. And after drying, this drug should be graded and packed for the marketing. So it is all about the cultivations and collections of the clove. Now if we see the morphological characters of the drug, so you can see the overall length of the flower bud is 10 to 17.5 millimeters it may be there. And if we particularly talk about the length of the hypanthium, so it is about 10 to 13 millimeter. And if we talk about the width, it is approximately 4 mm. And at the top of the flower bud you will see the corolla, which is also known as the crown or cap. Okay, here we written that corolla is also known as the head, crown or cap. So this corolla is also known as the head, crown or cap, which is dome shape, and it consists the petals, and the numbers of petals are 4, which are membranous in natures. And these petals are imbricate, immatures and membranous. Imbricate means there will be the overlapping of the petals. So then after corolla you see here the calyx, which consists the 4 sepals which are divergent, 4 thick sepals are there. And if you see the longitudinal sections of the flower bud, so here you can see the styles, which is erect structures in the center, and it is approximately 3 millimeter long. After that stamens is there. Then you can see the ovary, which is bilocular in nature. Bilocular means it consists two cells, and ovary consists the so many ovules which are attached with the axile placenta. And here you can see the columella and some cytolysigenous duct, or we can say the oil glands are also present in the flower bud. So it is about the theory of the morphology. If you see the color of the drug, it is reddish brown. Hypanthium is subcylindrical and tapering at the end. You can see that on the upper side it is broad, whereas on the lower side it is somewhat narrow. And hypanthium is 10 to 13 millimeter long, 4 mm wide and 2 mm thick, and has the lysogenous oil gland and an ovary which is bilocular in nature. The crown regions consist the calyx, corolla, styles and stamens. Calyx has the 4 thick sepals, you can see here. Then corolla is also known as the head, crown or cap. It is dome shaped and has 4 pale yellow colored petals which are imbricate. Imbricate, I already told that overlapping is there, and it is immature and membranous in natures. And the ovary consists abundant ovules, and clove has the strong spicy aromatic odor and pungent aromatic taste. So it is all about the morphology of clove. And if we talk about the microscopic features of the drug, so you will see here the in the outermost layer it is single layer, outer layer is there, that is covered by the cuticle layer. This single layer is outermost layers, and it is covered by the cuticle. And sometimes there is the anomocytic or ranunculaceous stomata may also be present in these regions. And anomocytic stomata means when the stoma is surrounded by the number of epidermal cells, it is known as the anomocytic stomata. And anomocytic stomata is also known as the ranunculaceous stomata. And this diagram is the TS of flower bud through the columella, or we can say from the hypanthium. So outermost layer is covered by the cuticles, which consist the anomocytic or ranunculaceous stomata. After this layer, here is the cortex regions, which is divided into the 3 portions. First one is the outermost regions, then this one is mid regions, and after that is the inner region. And if we see the outer regions, it consists of some cytolysigenous duct, or we can say the oil glands are present, and these cells are present. So many oil glands are present in this region. And if you see the middle region, so you will see here the some vascular bundles. The type of vascular bundle is bicollateral vascular bundles, and they are present in the form of the ring. In this diagram passing through the hypanthium, you can see that these vascular bundles are present in the form of rings, and the number of vascular bundles may be up to 15. and they are present in the form of the ring. And the type of vascular bundle is the bicollateral vascular bundles are present in these regions. And all the cells which are made in this portion is the parenchymatous cells, and some is spheriphytes. You can also see here that spheriphytes means it is the group of the calcium oxalate crystals, and acicular type of calcium oxalate crystals, or we can say acicular calcium oxalate crystals means needle shaped type of calcium oxalate crystals are maybe there, and they are present in the group, so it is known as the spheriphytes. Then vascular bundles, and this region is made up of the parenchyma. And if we see the innermost region, so some air space is there, due to which this is the parenchymatous cells, and it is known as the parenchyma, because it consists the air space between the cells. So this one is the parenchyma, and after that you can see the columella regions. In the columella region, some vascular bundles, starch granules are also present. It is the innermost layer. So here you can see the diagram passing through the hypantheum. Similarly, you can see another diagram, transfer sections, which is passing through the ovary. So in ovary you can see so many ovules are present there, then vascular bundles which are surrounded, and some oil glands you can see, and these oil glands are also known as the scytholysigenous duct or scytholysigenous gland, or we can say the oil gland. So it is about the microscopic features of the drug, and theoretically whatever we discussed here, it is written here that the transfer sections through hypantheum shows the following characters. It has a single layer of epidermis which is covered with a thick cuticle. The epidermis has ranunculaceous stomata. The cortex has three distinct regions, peripheral regions with 2 to 3 layers of scytholysigenous oil glands embedded in parenchymatous cells. Middle layer has few layers of bicollateral vascular bundles. So I said that bicollateral vascular bundles which are present in the form of ring, and inner portion it has the loosely arranged parenchyma cells. The central cylinder contain thick walled parenchyma with a ring of bicollateral vascular bundle, and abundant spheriphytes are there. And the transfer section through ovary region shows the presence of an ovary with numerous ovules in it. And this slide is showing the chemical constituents. So clove is consist about 14 to 21% of the volatile oils, and major active constituent is the eugenol, and others are acetyl eugenol, gallotanic acids, and two crystalline principles like alpha beta caryophyllines, methyl furfural, gums, resins, fibers are also present in the drug. And if we talk about the caryophyllene, it is the odorless compound, and it's occur as a phytosterols, whereas eugenol is a colorless liquid, and clove oil consists 60 to 90% of the eugenol. That's why I'm saying that eugenol is the major active constituents which is present in the drug, and it causes of its anesthetic and antiseptic properties, due to which it is also used for the dental care. And this slide is showing the identifications test of the drug. So in first test we will take the sample, and we will cut thick sections of the drug through the hypantheum, and to which we will add the 50% of the potassium hydroxide solution, due to which it produce the needle shaped crystals of potassium's eugenate. Because calcium oxalate crystals are acicular type, so it is forming the needle shaped crystals. Acicular or needle shape means same thing is there. If we are talking that acicular calcium oxalate crystals are there, it means it is the in the form of the needle. And in second test, if we see that, we will take the drop of clove oil, and it will dissolve in the 5 ml of the alcohol, to which we will add drop of ferric chloride solutions, and due to phenolic hydroxyl group of eugenol, a blue color is observed. And in last test, we will take a drop of chloroform extracts of the drugs, to which we will add a drop of 30% aqueous solutions of sodium hydroxides, which has been saturated with the sodium bromide. So needle and pear shaped crystals of sodium eugenate arranged in rosettes are produced immediate. And if we talk about the usage of the drug, so it is commonly used as an antiseptic, stimulant, carminative, aromatic, and dentists use clove oil as an oral anesthetic and to disinfect the root canals. And it also kills the intestinal parasites and shows broad antibacterial properties against fungi, bacteria, and so it is used in the treatment of diarrhea, intestinal worms, and other digestive problems. And if you talk about the adulterations of the drug, so commonly it is adulterated with the exhausted clove. Exhausted clove means the oil of the drug has been previously exhausted with the help of the distillations. So we can say that कि ऐसी ड्रग जिसका ऑयल पहले ही जो है निकाल लिया गया है, उसके साथ इसको जो है एडल्ट्रेशंस कर दिया जाता है, क्योंकि यूजिनॉल इज़ द मेजर एक्टिव कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट जो 60 to 90% यूजिनॉल प्रेजेंट है ऑयल में, जिसकी मेडिसिनल वैल्यू होती है, वो पहले ही एग्जॉस्ट कर लिया जाता है. तो यदि आप पहले ऑयल निकाल लेते हैं तो आप उसको डिफ्रेंशिएट नहीं कर सकते हैं कि कोई भी आपको इस तरीके से दे सकता है कि ये क्लोव सही है, बट previously all the oil has been exhausted. So it is all about the clove. Now the next drug is the cinnamon, which is commonly known as the dalchini, and it's also known as the cortex cinnamoni, Ceylon cinnamon, Saigon cinnamon, Chinese cassia, Cinnamomum aromaticum, Cinnamomum laurus. And if we talk about the biological source of the drug, so its botanical name is the Cinnamomum gelanicum, and its family is the Lauraceae, and its useful part is the bark. So biological source of the drug will be, it consists dried inner bark of the coppice shoots of Cinnamomum gelanicum belonging to family Lauraceae. And if you talk about the geographical source, it is widely cultivated in Ceylon, Java, Sumatra, West Indies, Brazil, Mauritius, Jamaica, and India. And if we talk about the cultivations and collections of the drug, so commonly with the help of seed propagations method it is cultivated, and it is the evergreen tree, grow from 20 to 30 feet heights, which has the thick scarbrous bark and strong branches. The bark is loosened and longitudinal incisions are made using copper or brass knife. So with the help of some instruments, brass knife, we have to make some longitudinal incisions in the bark. The bark is stripped off and made into bundles and wrapped in the form of coir. The bundles are kept aside for about 2 hours to facilitate the fermentations due to enzymatic actions, and these fermentations help in the loosening of the outer layer up to the pericycles. And each strips is taken and then they scraped using a knife to separate the cork. The pieces are then dried and they are categorized and packed one inside the other. Then compound quills are made by packing the small quills into larger one. They are cut into pieces of 1 meter length and dried, first under shade, later on under the sun. During dry, the original pale color is changes to the brown color because of the presence of some Phloba tannins which is present in the bark, due to which it obtained the dark brownish color. So it is all about the cultivations and collections of the drug. And if we see the morphological characters of the drug, so the length of the bark may be 1 meter or more, and if you see the width of the drug, it is up to 1 centimeter and thickness may be 0.5 millimeter. So cinnamon are either single or double compound quills with a size 1 meter length, 0.5 millimeter thickness and 6 to 10 millimeter in diameter. Okay, so we can say that 6 to 10 millimeter diameter or up to 1 centimeters maybe in diameter, or its width may be up to 1 centimeters. And you can see that on the outer surface there is the presence of the pericyclic fibers, which are pale wavy longitudinal lines on the outer surface, and it also consists the scars which is left by the branches, which occurs because of the branches. And inner surface is more darker in compared to the outer surface, and it consists some longitudinal reticulations, and it is in the form of the compound quill. So if you study about this theoretical data that cinnamon are either single or double compound quills with a size of 1 meter length, 0.5 millimeter thickness and 6 to 10 millimeter in diameter, and this outer surface is yellowish brown color having longitudinal lines of pericycle fibers and scars and holes representing the positions of the leaves on the lateral shoot. The inner surface is the darker than the outer one. Cinnamon has a fragrant perfume taste, aromatic and sweet. So you can see here that they occur either in the single quill, double quill, or in the form of the compound quill. So it is all about the morphological features of the drug. And if you see the transfer sections of the drug, you will see that in outermost layer there is the sclerid layers of the pericycles is there, and in this layer some groups of pericycle fibers are also present, and they may be 10 to 15 at the intervals. They may be present at the outer surface, and below the pericycle you will see the some sclerids are there, and these sclerids are isodimetric means the dimensions of the cells are same. Particularly we can say that they are similar in size. That's why these sclerids are the isodimetric in nature. And you see that after sclerids, these sclerids are 4 to 6 layers of sclerids are present below the this outer zone, which consists the pericycle fibers. And then after sclerids you can see the calcium oxalate crystals, which are acicular type. Then biseriate medullary rays are present. Biseriate medullary rays means which are present in the two layers. So medullary rays at the intervals may also be present. Here you can see that these are the medullary rays which are present at the different intervals, and nature of medullary rays is the biseriate. And calcium oxalate crystals are also present there, and in medullary rays some starch granules may also be present. Then phloem fibers may also be present in this region, some mucilage cells, and then some oil cells may also be present in the drug sample, in the specimen of the cinnamon. And it is all about the theory. The transfer section shows the presence of 3 to 4 layers of sclerids, which are horseshoe shape consisting the starch granules. The pericyclic fibers 6 to 15 are present on the outer margin. Then it consists of sieve tubes which are completely collapsed and are arranged tangentially. Lignified phloem fibers arranged as tangential rows of 4 to 5 cells. Biseriate medullary rays with needle shaped calcium oxalate crystals. So needle shape means acicular calcium oxalate crystals are present. Longitudinally elongated idoblast consisting of volatile oil. Subrectangular parenchymatous cells with starch granules and calcium oxalate crystals are also present. And here the chemical constituents. So it consists about 10% of the volatile oils. Then other constituents are tannins, mucilage, calcium oxalates and sugars are also present. And in the volatile oil, majority of the constituents of volatile oil is the cinnamic aldehyde, which is 50 to 65%, along with 5 to 10% of the eugenol. Okay, this is the structure of cinnamaldehyde, which is the major active constituent, and the concentrations of cinnamaldehyde may be 50 to 65%. After that, eugenol, 5 to 10% of eugenol may also be present. Then terpenes, hydrocarbons, and some small quantities of ketones and alcohols may also be present in the drug. And if you see the identification test of the drug, so we will take a drop of volatile oil and it will dissolve in 5 ml of alcohol, to which we will add a drop of ferric chloride. A pale green color is obtained. Cinnamic aldehyde gives brown color with ferric chloride, whereas eugenol gives the blue color with the ferric chloride solutions. In another test, we will take the alcoholic extracts of the drugs and we will treat this extract with the phenyl hydrogen hydrochloride, due to which it will produce the red color due to the formations of phenyl hydrogen of cinnamic aldehyde. And if you talk about the uses of the drug, so it is commonly used as a aromatic, carminative, flavoring agent, analgesic, antiseptic, and pharmacologically anti-rheumatic, antispasmodic, demulcent, digestive, expectorant, stomachic, uh, diaphoretic, antibacterial, and antifungal activity has been reported for this drug. So it is all about the two drugs which we covered today's class, clove and cinnamon. And so thank you very much for watching the video.